Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is go time. My name is Todd Grisham, and next to me for the broadcast, the one and only Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters, this is just one of those things.
It's time for our tale of the tape. It's Janibek, Alimkhanuly. He's 5'11" and a half inches tall with a reach of 71 and a half inches. And facing him in this bout, Amir King Khan, 155 pounds, 5'8" inches tall, with a reach of 71 inches.
Todd, this is well anticipated. I'm so looking forward to this tear-up. These two are really up for it. You know what? Nobody believes they're going to lose.
It's Janibek, Alimkhanuly. That strong amateur background has made him a tough out for any and every fighter he faces. It's the king, Amir King Khan, one of the finest fighters Britain's ever produced. Olympic silver medalist in 2004, multi-time world champion, fighting out of Bolton, UK.
This is going to be one hell of a fight.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Zilandi in Kazakhstan, introducing a unified middleweight champion of the world, known as Kazakh style, Janibek Alimkhanuly. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Bolton, England, here is the Olympic silver medalist, one of Britain's youngest ever professional world champion, a unified 140-pound champion of the world, introducing Amir King Khan.
So much hype surrounding this fight, and now it is go time.
Which fans are going to be happy? Which fans are going to be sad? I don't know, but it's the argument I love.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. The perfect counter lands. Just missing with the uppercut. It's nothing but air on that left uppercut. What a pleasure it is to be here in this environment. What a venue for this showdown.
Did you see the nerves on that fighter stepping into the ring, Tom? It can tell you so much about a fighter. And the look in the opposite corner, you've got one fighter that is in heaven. This is where they want to be.
There's a counter shot. Catch and shoot. Amir, and down he goes. What an upset this could be as Khan is down. We knew his chin would get tested in this fight, and it failed him miserably.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
The referee says we will fight on. Not sure about this one.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
That jab won't score. Final 10 seconds here, and the corner better get warmed up. They've got some work to do. Let's talk about Khan in that last round. Boy, this next round is going to be crucial considering the knockdown we just witnessed.
You've been put down, you've got to think right, survive and then give it back the next round.
Do you want to win this fight? He's starting to make mistakes.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. Got to get the momentum shift coming their way. What can they do here?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff it.
Well done with that counter shot. Jab misses. Those counter punches have to hurt. They're both trying for a knockout. When you're fighting a counter puncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Look at the footwork, the hand speed. This is the best that the middleweight division has to offer. Nice counter shot. Oh, and that changes everything. And down they go. As we watch it again one more time, appreciate the perfection of that knockout shot.
I need to see that again.
Talk about Janibek that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knockdown.
I love the response, though. Got back up, took a deep breath, thought, right, brush it off, get on with the job.
Jab's working now.
Just box him. Be smart. Get your shots off.
On to the third. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere, look at this. Oh, boy, Amir Khan, dazed. How are they still standing?
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
They exchange punches. Beautiful counter punch. This fighter embodies the cardinal rule of boxing. Hit and don't get hit.
Todd, this is what it's all about. Hit and don't get hit. Jab, move, pop, slip. Use your footwork. Drive your opponent crazy.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Good counter punching. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Can't score with that jab. Punch, counter punch. A lot of effort being exerted here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. talk about Janibek in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
You'll take him out.
Okay, now you're switching off. Have you got complacent? The
He's ready to go, but you've got to be smart. Otherwise, you'll see it and ride it out.
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. He threw a punch and just got countered. Oh, a little rope-a-dope here. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
And he scores with the counter. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. We hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
Now you've got two fighters that...
I got to stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. What a massive upset this would be. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Green Days now needs to steady the...
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Janibek that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every minute of this round is important. You cannot afford to lose.
Go back and win the round, right?
On to the 5th we go. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Beautiful counter shot. They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last.
There's 1, 2, straight up.
On on to the 6th round. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You'd like to see more jabs. In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Which fighter will say no mas? Nice counter shot. That counter shot lands. His stamina is off. Hold that thought. Where was the defense? Just one punch away from getting the momentum back.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once, they know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense, work on defense, blocking and stopping and shooting.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Janibek that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned around?
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
Come on, switch on, switch on.
Round 7, here we go. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
A perfect counter shot. Couldn't land that jab. Good counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. His stamina is off the charts. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight because if they haven't, there's going to be...
Focus, big deep breath, big deep breath.
And we enter the 8th round. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
This is not how the story was supposed to go for Amir Khan. And it appears they're out of trouble, at least for now. But that just goes to show you one clean punch changes everything.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Just missed with that hook. Back and forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
That counter punch caught him clean. Nice counter. How about that time counter shot? In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Every time this round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Janibek that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Get your mind back on the job.
And there's the bell for round 9. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Swing and a miss with that hook. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Nice counter punch. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Incredible work rate. Beautiful counter shot. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two. Beautiful counter punch. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
Look back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
It's when you talk about championship material.
Start sticking a few body shots in there.
Listen, you switched off. What you doing?
And there's the bell for round 10. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. Is he going to punch himself out, though? That jab doesn't score. to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
I've seen some fights with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
And he just misses with that jab. Perfect counter lands. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Janibek that last round. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
There's a lot on the line here.
1-2 straight down the middle. You can't miss him. Great work.
Okay, now you let him back into the fight that round.
This is the 11th. We've entered the championship rounds. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
What are they doing that round? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
The stamina is off the charts. Nice counter. Threw a punch and just got countered. The perfect counter lands. Nope, that uppercut does not score. When you've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses, how do you deal with it?
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
And he scores with the counter. That jab doesn't score. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. He just gets out of the way of that right uppercut. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
You cannot cast out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing
Come
out.
on, you're switching on.
Don't forget the jab and don't get carried away. Think about the defense.
There's the bell for round 12. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you've hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
throw out a lazy jab in this fight, you'll get knocked out. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is the heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace, you can stand, you can dance.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Some might have thought it was a little bit closer, but in the end, the referees are in a unanimous agreement.
Unanimous. You know what? Smarts that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. At every round in the bag, there was no argument, no discussion, no mistake. It was so obvious.